It is head coach Serge Landish's birthday, and there's nothing he'd love more than for the KW Titans to bring home a win and halt their 2-game losing skid. Meanwhile, the Niagara River Lions, in town for the first time in franchise history, are also looking to avoid dropping their 3rd straight after dropping both of a home-and-home back-to-back with the London Lightning this past weekend. Welcome, everybody, inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Ian Jodry and Dan Polishuk here with you on this Tuesday evening. As we mentioned, Niagara paying their first visit here to the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. And Dan said right off the top, a couple moves made for this Niagara team. Meanwhile, KW, of course, they have one of their top players back in Ricky Terrence. And you could say that one of these teams is clicking, but both at the same time are trying to end some short losing skids.
Yeah, and I think you could argue that the River Lions are kind of in a tougher skid at the moment. As you mentioned, back-to-back losses to the London Lightning. And really, it seems to come down to chemistry issue they have at the moment. And it was reported that they had a 35-minute closed-door meeting after that latest loss on the road on Sunday afternoon. And certainly some question marks they have to get answered. And then they actually added to the roster. You mentioned him off the top, Anthony Otley Jr., the Canadian, joining the Niagara River Lions now.
Kirk Williams Jr. with the initial miss for Niagara.
And for the Titans, having come off a tough loss against Orangeville, looked a lot better on the final scoreline than probably was for 3 quarters of play for them. Immense struggles at the free throw line. And certainly lucky to get within 6 points at the end of the ball game, but they were down by as many as 24 points at one time.
21 for 37 from the charity stripe where the Titans on Sunday at Athlete Institute. 16 free throws in a game that they ended up losing 107-101. Both teams exchanged misses. Tarrant off the offensive rebound, lost the basketball. Pushing in transition, Marcus Lewis, and Tarrant going to pick up his first foul of the evening.
A name to keep an eye on here tonight, Kirk Williams Jr. for Niagara. Had 28 points to lead his team against the Lightning on Sunday afternoon. And then the aforementioned Ricky Tarrant, back from that hamstring injury, missed a handful of games with that. Looked to be pretty good, leading his team in scoring against the A's.
Commons, the baseline jumper off the mark, the offensive rebound, and able to find at that time Richard Amarty. So far this year, Amarty averaging just under 10 points a game. Davis steps up from long range but can't go, and Cooper there, the offensive rebound. Wing for 3, knocks it down. Adam Wing gets things going for KW.
And the key for Wing is to keep going all game long, as there were spurts even in the last home game where he'd go off for a couple 3 balls and a couple jumpers in general, but then you wouldn't hear from him. But at the same time, he plays so well at the defensive end. As long as he's keeping that up, I'm sure head coach Serge Langus isn't all too concerned.
Davis picks up foul number 1 on that nice spin move to the basket from Kirk Williams Jr. As you mentioned, coming off the explosive performance over the weekend against London. So not only has Niagara dropped their last 2, they've lost 5 of their last 7.
And it was a game they led at halftime as well, 49-45, before losing pretty convincingly, 117-89. 72-40, they were outscored in the last 2 quarters.
Williams so far this year, a 68% free throw shooter and 0 for 2 to start the mark. Wing the pump fake up top to Davis. Mentioned the Titans coming off losses to the Lightning, and then it's going to be a travel on Paul Cooper. Delayed call, but as I was saying, KW losses to London at home and then on the road to Orangeville, and then they'll have some time to regroup after this one before the Moncton Miracles make their initial trip out to Ontario. It'll be on Sunday, and not to mention the first time Coach Langus will play his former team.
I'm sure he's got that date circled on the calendar to be sure.
Their lone visit to the odd this season, Zeglinski off the loose ball. The floater won't go. Second try also off the mark. Wing's going to let it roll out of bounds. And indeed, he does so wisely. It'll be Titans basketball.
And that's one area where the Niagara River Lions are pretty exceptional, is in the team's rebounding. Top 5 team in that category, so certainly know what to do when they're in the paint.
Blazek try from way downtown, off the mark. Blazek, of course, playing against his former team, spent last year in Niagara and averaged around 9 points a game.
Both him and Tramar Sutherland, former River Lions, playing their former team from a year ago.
Davis shot off the mark, won't go, and the long rebound of Lewis.
I guess it's really the second time this season that's happened. KW handing Niagara a home loss early on this season.
Commons drives baseline, the reverse, and he'll get it to roll. Commons coming off an 18-point-per-game season last year with the Windsor Express, acquired by the River Lions in the offseason. 6'3" Niagara early on, and he finds a Paul Cooper who walks in for the easy 2-point finish. Cooper's been a guy who's been doing it in different ways, it seems, every game since his return. He's had the possibility to put up big numbers. 18 points is his season high in his 6 appearances so far. 7.6 rebounds on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's one thing, one area that head coach Serge Langus keeps preaching. They need some sort of presence in the paint. You saw him convert to a very small lineup against Orangeville. Unfortunately for them, their shooters got going and got red hot. But you need that balance, not only the outside going, but you need, again, guys in the paint posting up and getting easier looks under the basket.
We talk about this KW team finding presence in the paint, something that they were lacking on early in the year. And if you're going to do it, a team like Niagara is certainly a good start. They allowed 62 points in that painted area against London on Sunday. That's one spot they have struggled. They have the second worst offense and the second worst defense in the National Basketball League of Canada, as Commons fouled on the reverse. That one will go against Cooper, and another pair of free throws coming up.
That's a good decision there by Commons to go right at Cooper. His footwork can be a little iffy at times, and in that instance, caught a little flat-footed. He will get it right around him, and then there's Cooper trying to catch up and deny him the layup attempt and garner some contact at Commons.
Cooper's first of the evening, and Cavell Johnson will be the first substitute of the evening. Commons drops number 1 so far this year. 68% free throw shooter. River Lions first team to 10-5 early on. Blazek off the screen from Johnson. Left-hand pass outside. Davis, 3-ball, won't go. Zeglinski thought about and said he tries to float it into the post. A nice entry. Forced to go back outside, finds a Marty open triple. Mark loose on the baseline. It's going to be no. Last touch by Adam Wing. A couple substitutions: Greg Morrow, Tramar Sutherland. You mentioned Tramar also first game on his home court. His former team, of course, the KW Titans. Victory in franchise history, Meridian Center in late December. Zeglinski up against Morrow. Tough situation, has to pass up top to Commons. He's watched by Johnson. Is Zeglinski again. Pulls up over Tramar. Knocks down the long 2.
There's Ricky Tarrant, looking pretty good, having nursed that hamstring back to at least good enough health to be able to be in tonight's ball game and in Sunday's ball game as well.
Cavell way off the mark on the turnaround. Jay Zeglinski trying to make him pass inside, and no offensive foul.
Block. And while we have a moment, we should note to our viewers that we are experiencing some technical difficulties with our cameras this evening. So please bear with us as we'll continue bringing what we can to you live here on YouTube.
The Titans hit their 4th team foul as Tramar Sutherland picks up number 1. So far, the Lions have yet to commit a single. Good news for the Lions so far early on. 13-5, they lead it as Zeglinski steps up looking for number 2 this year. Sammy Zeglinski, a 69% free throw shooter. An early 9-point River Lions lead. Tarrant draw a foul on the floor.
Fouls on River Lions number 12, Marcus Lewis is first, team's first.
.6:25 remaining in the opening quarter. Tarrant gets the high screen, tries to roll up, but can't find a seam. Wing into the corner. Morrow, corner, three. Off the mark. The Titans just can't find that scoring touch early on. So far, just 2 for 9 from the field. Zaglinski almost lost it. Draws a double team up top to Williams. Now the Lions calm things down again. Commons backing in. Hook shot drops. Nice play from Commons. He hits 8 points already on the evening. It's a 16-5 River Lions lead. Expect Coach Langus to call timeout soon. Wing the quick pass inside, was looking for Johnson. Intercepted. Amarty to Williams, can't finish, but the third try will be good.
Play starts and finishes with Amarty, then good denial on the inlet pass to the paint, tipped it away, and then finish off the putback as another Titans turnover.
Williams walks in and scores another bucket, another turnover, a 15-point Niagara lead. And indeed, Langus has seen enough. A terrible start to the game for KW.
As he exhales a sigh of frustration. Continuing trend here for the Titans, and I'm sure if he had any hair left, it'd be turning white right about now. It's been a tough streak throughout this inaugural campaign for the Titans, always having to dig themselves out of a big hole, especially in the early going. First quarter has not been their friend. I really don't know what else you can say to the team, aside from the messages I'm sure he's hammered home to no end so far.
And especially playing, on your home court, something that you'd expect to come out with a bit more.
You want to get the crowd right behind you off the tip. So to have this kind of start, inauspicious start, certainly far from ideal.
And it's not just the missed shots. They've turned the ball over 5 times to start it off. And 8 points alone, the River Lions have scored off turnovers. 8 of their 20 coming off mistakes from the Titans. With 5:21 to go. The River Lions in the midst of a rough patch, up 15 points right out of the gates.
And the Titans, as we said off the top, trying to get back in the win column with that 4-8 record. Niagara coming in at 4-7 in a logjam that is that division.
Not to mention a win tonight by either team solidifies that third place spot in the Central. Huge opportunity for KW against the Lions team that's struggling, but so far it's been the team from St. Catharines that's dominated in the early stages of the first. Back out. Foster, Tarrant, Johnson, along with Sutherland and Morrow. Tarrant, the floater in the lane, he'll get it to roll, and the foul. Right out of the timeout, Tarrant a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, Ricky Tarrant is certainly a game changer, and I would not be surprised if we mention his name more than a few times in the next couple minutes as he puts his team on his back to spark them offensively.
Missed free throw, Foster blocked, but it's going to be a foul that time on Commons.
Kevin Foster fouled on the way out by number 24, Chris Commons. That's his first, team's third.
That's a third team foul already as Foster, the relative newcomer to this Titans roster, will head to the stripe. Had a pretty good second half in that game against London here at home. Unfortunately, the Titans in the losing end of that one.
Foster knocks down both. Richard Amarty check back in for the River Lions. 20-9, so 4 quick points out of the timeouts.
Foster he's averaging 8 points a game to continue that thought since joining the team from out of Fresno State. Played a couple seasons overseas. So he's getting his first taste of NBL action here in Waterloo region.
Commons the drive and the finish, and just overpowered Cavell Johnson that time, who never seemed to have some established position defensively. Tarrant, the float pass works in the corner. Sutherland, 3-ball, knocks it down. Tramar Sutherland off the beautiful ball movement. Cavell Johnson picks up the assist. Cuts the lead in half, 22-11 Niagara. Jamel Harris also set to check into the game for KW. Zaglinski lost it in the corner. Good chance for a double team, but instead they hit Amarty up top. Watched by Foster, drive to right hand and loses it. Tarrant off the steal. Titans with numbers. Tarrant does it himself. The pretty right hand lane, and the lead's cut to single digits.
Taking it right to these Niagara defenders, exactly what Coach Langus loves to see. Good pace and results in a bucket for KW.
Marty out to his right, a foul on the floor.
And it's offensive foul as well.
Indeed it is. Foster got ran over that time.
And the first time tonight we'll see Meek Sutherland and Jamel Harris, as Morrow and Tarrant will head off for a breather. But touching on Chris Commons, he's certainly known for his defensive prowess, leading the team in blocks per game. Almost 2 blocks a game he's averaging. Had his lowest output in terms of points just 2 days ago, or 2 games ago, I should say, against the Lightning with 6. But every game, aside from 2, he's been scoring in double digits, so can do it at both ends of the court.
And an almost similar play just on the other side of the ball. Richard Amarty away from the play.
And 15 foul already, so Niagara in a bit of foul trouble. Might allow KW to chip away here.
It's all come in the past 2 minutes. We were talking about how at that initial timeout they still hadn't picked up any. So now they don't have anything to give. Morrow out to Harris, lost the basketball.
But the Titans are giving it up with that latest turnover, and they have to do a better job protecting the basketball. We've seen more than enough of games that they've come to 20-plus turnovers. Not a good start tonight.
Zaglinski, blocked by Harris, got up there and sent it back in transition. Morrow, the step around, the right-hand floater, and the foul. Greg Morrow a chance for the 3-point play.
Well, you talk about block leaders. Well, Cavell Johnson's a pretty good one at that. Helping the team ranked number 2 in the entire league in blocks per game. Comes up with a huge swat, and then Morrow at the other end with a chance now to finish off a 3-point play.
Morrow this year, 64% from the line. Can't hit that time around. River Lions lead at 7. Just about 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. KW has seemed to have stopped the bleeding for now. Williams, though, off the nice pass from Ben. Foster, right hand, and that's going to be a charge called on Kevin Foster.
Some good positioning there by Tyshawn Patterson.
Foul the Titans, number 33.
As Foster again had the right idea in mind, but again, Patterson just beat him to the spot and able to square up, take the contact.
Under 3 to play in the first. Ben trying to get the screen from Williams. Instead, it leads to a double team up top, and able to escape it. Williams, though, with single digits on the shot clock. Tyshawn Patterson against Tremeke Sutherland into the corner. Murray can't hit the 3-ball. Good defensive stand that time from KW. Tremeke the other way, trying to go coast to coast, but stepped out of bounds, but it was last touched by Niagara, so
we saw 3 in the River Lions pointing the other way, but he's clearly off the knee of the Niagara River line.
18 on the shot clock, so 2:27, and that's what they'll have off the inbound. Up top for Tremeke. Step around to Harris. Spin around in the paint, won't go. Foster the board, and the easy right-hand finish for Kevin Foster trims that Niagara lead down to 7 points. 2 to go. Adam Blazik can check back in. Blazek a slower game on Sunday, only 10 points for him, and going 3 for 8 from the field. Meanwhile, Tarrant, terrific game in his return, 7 for 12 shooting from the floor. Tremeke outside, Foster, the three won't go. Foster's really struggled from beyond the arc this season.
Definitely hasn't had many opportunities, but certainly, like you said, had his issues with nailing that shot, as Titans get a round of applause there for their efforts defensively to get back.
That is his first, team's 7th.
And again, the team's 7th foul now, and these are free throws now for the Titans. Or check that'll be possession.
(24-17) as a couple fouls now for River Lions, 7 as a team. Harris, the drive and the right-hand finish.
The big man showing some good moves there.
Harris back-to-back nice moves in the post to lead to points for the Titans. First one was a miss, but Foster is right there for the rebound. Foster 0 for 6 from three-point land coming to this game, so now hits 0 for 7. Patterson open for 3, but he's off the mark. KW, after falling behind by, I believe, as many as 14 so far in this quarter, have really fought back. 24-19, they have the ball now. And what appears to be a chance to trim the lead down to 1 possession. 5-point game. Tremeke looking for that entry pass to Cooper, gonna back in on Conley, works around him. The nice spin move in the paint, but can't get the finish. Blazek has it at his feet, dives for it, loose ball on the floor. Looks like they're gonna call jump ball, and indeed they will with 37 seconds left. The good news, that means it's KW possession and a fresh 24.
Hey, you gotta appreciate Adam Blazek's effort there, just scrambling all over the place and using those quick hands to try and tip the ball away. And he was going up against almost 3 River Lions there. I think but 2 by my count, all trying to get that loose ball on the floor, and it's going to be the KW that comes away with it. Outstanding effort.
So 13.1 differential game clock, shot clock. The Titans have a pretty good opportunity to go 2 for 1 here. They have Davis, Cooper, Harris, Blazek, and Tremeke Sutherland on the floor. Tremeke off the inbounds against Patterson. Drops off for Davis. Doesn't look like they're going to rush anything and just get the best possible shot off here. And they want to leave the River Lions with as little time as possible when they get the ball back. Davis, the drive, tries to swing it inside, but turned over, and then Harris going to get called for the reach-in foul.
That's a tough pass to make, especially going that kind of speed, and to make it at that angle as well. No chance there for it to be completed, and it results in another turnover for the Titans, and instead it's Williams now at the other end going to the line for Niagara.
Yeah, Davis going against his body there and had plenty of time. Instead, a couple free throws coming up here for Niagara, but KW will get the ball back, trailing by 5.
Both teams certainly not overly impressive from the floor. KW and Niagara shooting 42 and 43% respectively. But those turnovers, 7 already in this quarter alone for KW. Have to tighten the screws there a little bit. And 8 points resulting from those turnovers for Niagara.
They want to talk things over though. Up 5. They'll get the ball back with 18 on the shot clock, so have a chance for the last point of the quarter.
And if you're just joining us as well, Serge Langes, head coach of the Titans, celebrating his birthday today, getting a nice round of applause just as the teams are ready to get it going tonight. So certainly a happy birthday to the bench boss. I'm sure he'll be in a more celebratory mood if his team is able to come away with a W to get their record here to 5-7 tonight. Busy week for them as they play here today, and then Super Bowl Sunday. Well, before kickoff, there'll be tip-off here in KW.
2 p.m. against Moncton. We mentioned it early, playing his former team.
And we'll have it for you live, obviously, right here on YouTube. Dan Paulchik along with Ian Jodry. It was interesting, Christine Rivet of the Waterloo Region Record writing up about how challenging the midweek games might be for NBL Canada teams to draw fans in. Certainly a smaller gathering than it has been here in the inaugural season for the Titans, but still a lively one. But certainly Commissioner Magley, appreciate him kind of stepping up to the forefront saying, hey, we're definitely looking at that, and they want to find the league's sweet spot, quote unquote, as he put it, finding games between Thursdays and Sundays, scheduling those more regularly, make it fully accessible to families and children more so. But tonight we deal with a Tuesday night 7 p.m. tip-off. Only game in the entire NBL here tonight.
Davis, the floater at the buzzer, won't go. And you're right, scheduling can certainly be a problem, especially with the majority of these teams sharing a building with an Ontario Hockey League team. But regardless, have to be happy with throughout the league how the attendance has been from the East Coast all the way to here in Ontario.
And word is apparently they're looking at a franchise for next year in Sudbury. That's the latest news, stemming from, again, Ms. Rivet's article the other day. So certainly promising news around the league, and certainly I'm sure that'd be a decent following there up north.
Those small to mid-range markets have really seemed to thrive.
Well, certainly, it's one thing. You got to find, at least finding its niche, which is great to see. So certainly would love to see an extension of that going into the likes of Sudbury.
Of course, KW, one of the two teams in expansion this season. Cape Breton Highlanders also tipped off for the first time in Sydney, Nova Scotia. There's also been talk about a team coming to Fredericton, New Brunswick, currently quite the hotbed with the University of New Brunswick basketball team, who's been one of the top in the country for the past few years. And then some other talks. Of course, you mentioned Sudbury. Hamilton's been in the talk a few times.
It's been an exciting campaign throughout across the league with the Highlanders getting off. The Hurricanes getting off to a fantastic start, unbeaten. Then had the streak snapped in an exciting matchup, overtime matchup, just last week. So certainly anyone can win on any given night.
There is that parity in the league.
It wasn't looking like it anyways if you're playing Halifax, but that's the glimmer of hope right now for other teams that are stepping up to play them now.
Tough Atlantic Division. It hasn't been like that in the past. Of course, last year was the first time any team outside of Ontario had won the league title, and it took the Hurricanes 7 games to outlast the Lightning. Really an emotional moment and big time for the folks in Halifax. But it was the first one. I have to wonder if that trend will continue. They have a very strong squad out in Nova Scotia again this year. Commons, the entry pass. And Williams tried to reel it in over the shoulder, but pass goes incomplete. Head of Super Bowl Sunday, but stick with the terms. 24-19.
That's a good warm-up. All that pregame stuff doesn't matter anyways, right? This is the game that matters as of 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Absolutely. Cooper lost it running on the baseline, and that'll be the 10th KW Titans turnover of the evening.
It certainly doesn't necessarily have the softest of mitts there as Cooper mishandled that pass, but once he gets that rock inside, Cooper can do some damage. Just a matter of settling down and doing what he can do best.
Commons, looks like he traveled. It's actually going to be a foul called on Chris Commons. It's 2 on him. Shamik receiving some increased playing time so far this evening. Wing rolling out to his left into the corner. Blazik knocks down the 3. 24-22. They've cut the lead down to a single possession.
Blazik on the score sheet, there, Ian, and first 3 ball of the night for him, as they would love for him to get going.
Commons drops it off for Murray. almost lost it. Shot clock down to 4. Williams puts one up from way deep and can't get it to go, and now Niagara looks to be in a bit more of a desperation mode. Davis, the drive, right hand won't go. Cooper out-muscles him for the offensive rebound. He also can't get it to drop. Loose ball on the floor.
And Tremik on this travel there. Series of unfortunate events there for the Titans as Cooper just missing out on a golden opportunity. Start with Davis. Maybe just not a matter of not keeping things as simple as possible. Figured he was just going to try and kiss it off the glass, but just threw it up and missed the basket completely.
Almost losing it with a spin move by Patterson. And
yeah, Tarrant on the foul there has got a piece of Patterson as he went up.
Tarrant is second.
Fouls the Titans, number 4, Ricky Tarrant is second, team's first.
Kitchener-Waterloo, though, has seemed to turn things around since that timeout. Head coach Serge Langus called there in the mid-stage of that first quarter. They're off to a brutal start. A 15-point deficit early on. They've erased it now. A 17-4 run now for the Titans. Patterson over 2 from the line. The River Lions are the worst team in the country as far as free throw percentage goes, and shows as you look up and down the roster.
Yeah, as Patterson is 72% from the charity stripe.
Blazik kicks out Davis into the corner, wing, 3-ball, won't go. Cooper, though, fighting for the rebound and the 2 points. He's done that a couple of times tonight. Couldn't convert the first time, but those second chance points are huge for the Titans, especially when they're putting up shots like that.
Well, great effort by Cooper. He took a couple of dribbles, then looked over his left shoulder. I almost felt like hollering at him, just go up with it. Finally, he did, and it resulted in 2 for the Titans. Just a bit of hesitancy there. Just got to build that confidence for Cooper.
Once again, the Lions in desperation mode as the shot clock expires. An air ball, a 24-second violation as Murray couldn't get it to drop. Tie game, and now a chance for the Titans to take their first lead of the evening.
Now Moore and Lewis will check in for Niagara. It's Josiah Moore.
9:20 to go in the first half. KW battling back tremendously well. A 19-4 run since that timeout. Wing into the corner. Blazik the pump fake. Step in. Drops it. And the Titans with their first lead of the evening. Those sluggish starts have been a theme, but it seems like those comebacks have been too in the second quarter.
It's really not too cold in this building, is it? Does it just take a little while for them to warm up to the climate? I don't know, but nice little head nod there by Blazik. Gets some spacing and an open look. Drains it for 2. Now Titans with another defensive stop.
Commons off the miss on the hook shot, looking to grow the lead, and a foul going to be called on the floor. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Goes on Cooper. That's number 2 for him.
And Cavell Johnson's going to come back, and I think he's going to replace Big 32. So it just flashes of brilliance from Cooper, and then it's just moments like that, the brain cramps, that kind of leaves you wondering, like, what do we have here in Paul Cooper? As he'll get himself sorted out. A couple minutes to do that with now Cavell Johnson in the game.
Josiah Moore against Tarrant, out to Zeglinski, blows by the defense, throws it up, no foul called, and it will stay Niagara basketball, but Zeglinski absorbed a lot of contact there, and a great job by the Titans defensively. It seems that all ball on that defensive stop.
I held my breath on that one. I was certain they were gonna get the foul call on them. Like a fair bit of contact down low.
They go back to Zeglinski, and he gets the floater to drop. Awkward looking shot, but he finally puts an end to the bleeding. Ties things up at 26. The first points of the second quarter. Davis left all alone, floats. 2 shots coming for A.J. Davis. Zeglinski's picked up 2. Commons has 2. Amarty has 2 as well. 3 of the top scorers for the River Lions.
Zeglinski, former University of Virginia product.
The Hokies. No, not Virginia Tech.
Tech, right. But ranking 5th all-time in school history in career three-pointers made. Actually, started his career in Iceland, of all places. Spent some time in Austria.
Have you ever heard that? Starting your basketball career in Iceland?
That's a career curve if I've ever heard one.
That's a new one. Blazik the three. No good. KW has still maintained that advantage. 27-26, battling back after trailing by as many as 15 at that timeout. Zeglinski right-hand shot, forced it, won't go. Blazik had Benayad Sharifin all alone, almost runs over the floor wiper. But regardless, it was poked loose at the last second by Marcus Lewis. And a mass substitution here coming for KW. Morrow and Shamar Sutherland back into the contest.
Tough one there for Benayad Sharif in limited minutes. Had a chance to put one up for two, but stripped it to the basketball at the last second. And Marcus Lewis, former NCAA dunk champ. So certainly has some hops in those feet and legs.
Titans hoping that we won't see him. 7:44 to go in the half. Whistle down off the inbounds.
Yeah, we were spending some time in the D-League as well, much like AJ Davis at one point, before finding his way now onto the River Lions roster.
Johnson lost it, but he got fouled. Looks like it's going to go on Marcus Lewis. And it's number 2 for him as well. No, my apologies, 3 on Lewis. No, I was right the first time. Team's third. Team third foul.
Never doubt yourself, Joe Drew. Never. That's what I'm here to do. I'll doubt yourself for you.
Aaron tomorrow. Morrow wasn't doubting the pass, but maybe he should have. But instead, right after intercepting that pass, Marty steps out of bounds and has a look up at the Rangers banners in the crowd. And a turnover, and Marty having some words with the official. Doesn't think he stepped onto the sideline. Pleading with the official, but they don't change their calls too often. 7:28 to go in the half, and
do they ever change their calls that you would necessarily expect? There's a big time shot from Tarrant.
Knocking that one down from another postal code, 30-26. Kitchener-Waterloo, their biggest lead of the night. Zeglinski against Benayad Sharif. Zeglinski pump fakes, throws up the 3, won't go, no foul. And Zeglinski has had a tough time tonight. He got hacked earlier on a drive to the hoop. That time doesn't draw the contact, shooting 3. And another Titans ball.
Tarrant looking for the foul right on Zeglinski. Maybe get lucky to get away with one there as the referee says play on.
Instead he draws a screen, throws up the floater, can't get the touch. And then Tarrant gets knocked over in transition the other way. Commons lost the basketball. Sutherland diving for it on the baseline. But it will stay River Lions basketball. Zeglinski to the bench. Ties Sean Patterson into the game for Niagara. Marcus Lewis, the shot clock at 12. We'll give and go back up top. Amarty thought about it, drives from the corner, loose ball on the floor, still being fought for. 6 on the shot clock, and he misses from right underneath. Johnson was there, but wasn't set to play defense, but he still cost the miss. And Sutherland draws the foul on the floater in transition, and 2 free throws coming up for Tremar.
And it was a disappointing weekend for Amarty, and I think the disappointment continues on that latest try. Just 11 points over 2 games for him. It allowed Sutherland to push it the other way and get himself a foul call. A trip to the free throw line now, and looks like his brother will come back on to replace Tarrant. Foster is in for Benayad Sharif.
Tremar Sutherland this year, just a 48% free throw shooter, and he'll go down as he's off the mark on that one. hits the second. KW lead at 5, as we mentioned, that continues to grow as their biggest of the evening. Niagara led by as many as 15 out of the gates. A dream start for them, a nightmare birthday present for Coach Langus. Titans.
Maybe it's a bit of a belated one with all those fouls eventually at the end of that first quarter.
Marty, the spin move, the miss, the follow-up is good. They are complaining that it didn't hit the rim, but indeed it is as a shot clock reset, otherwise it wouldn't have counted. Tremik out to Tremar. Little crossover up top, and Moore picks up his second foul in the last 30 seconds.
He's pleading his case there, but the official not buying it. The officials here tonight, Augie Sekulovic, Tony Turnbull, and Rob Caparici. Moore, the former Tennessee Tech player. Played at Nebraska as well. Actually sat out 2012-13, once made that transfer over. But the Canadian out of Oakville, trying to make his impression felt on his River Lions roster. A nice turnaround certainly here for the Titans in the second quarter. Got things together. Love to know what Coach Serge Langus reminds him of in the huddle, because just when things seem to be getting pretty bleak, they turn a corner and turn it back on. And I know it's a recurring trend. Titans really improving things in the second quarter. Looking at the previous stats, quarter by quarter breakdown. And it continually gets better as you progress onto the games, but I'm sure their bench boss would love to see more of a balanced output.
The fourth quarter has been quite something. Outscoring their opponents by a hefty margin, and that's the only one where they are outscoring their opponents.
I tell you what, though, as bad as the first quarter has been for the Titans, the third quarter has been even worse, coming out of that halftime break, giving up 51 more points to their opponents. So that'll be the quarter to watch here tonight, as they can put it on lockdown in the fourth. The fourth has been their best friend, but makes it all tougher to wrap up. I'm sure they have a couple more W's in this inaugural campaign. They were able to put a couple better quarters together earlier on in the ballgame.
If they played with that same intensity in the
That's just it.
opening hit that they have in the fourth quarter for the majority of their games, could be looking at a plus 500 record, but for the meantime, they still have a game in hand on Niagara. Of course, the winner tonight will claim sole possession of third place in the Central. Pass inside to Johnson, gets double teamed, stepped out, and it'll be River Lions ball.
That's a tough pass there. Meek Sullivan did well to spot him, but again, that lob pass just a little too high. It allowed defenders to collapse, and I think it flustered Johnson down low, and eventually resulted in him stepping out of bounds trying to handle that pass.
Little runner in the lane that time from Lewis, no good. Loose ball, and Tremik comes away with it. Back come the Titans with numbers. Tremar, Morrow, nice move. The adjustment and the follow-up, it looks like Foster will get credit for it.
Tag team effort there as both Johnson and Foster went up to put it back. I don't think Morrow cares as long as someone did, and they tacked on two more there.
Williams against Morrow. Loose ball on the floor and a couple white jerseys on it, but it comes loose again.
That'll be Titans possession.
It's another turnover, and this is going to be Titans basketball on a loose ball. So again, the defense standing tall in this quarter for KW.
Under 5 to play in the half, a 5-point Kitchener-Waterloo lead.
And only 4 points given up in the second quarter, just 4 compared to 24 that they allowed Niagara to put up in the first quarter. Wow.
Since that timeout, it's been a nightmare for the River Lions as Foster continues to grow that lead. A 30-8 run since that timeout.
Absolutely snake bitten, and again, outstanding defense all around. This concerted team effort.
Marty open corner 3, and he misses. And even when Niagara's gotten those open shots, they haven't exactly helped their own cause.
Well, it made it even tougher. They're stepping back to make it a 3-ball attempt. At that point, what you're down right now, just take the two as soon as you get that pass, I say.
Marty can't get it to go, but a blocking foul called on the Titans. It's going to go on Shamar Sutherland. Looks like he might have been moving, but
I don't like that call at all. Sutherland even a bit of a Cheshire cat grin on his face, and he gets helped up.
It's number 2 on Shamar. Chris Commons going to have the chance to check back into the game as Marty heads to the free throw line for the first time this evening.
But look at that. We're talking about Kevin Foster and his slow start with the Titans, leading the team in scoring at the moment with 8. 3 of 4 from the floor. 2 of 2 from the free throw line.
Not who you'd expect. Approaching halftime, to leading the team in scoring, but
I'm sure they're not going to be complaining about that one bit as he's come in to replace the since departed Orlando Coleman.
Marty knocks down both free throws, then heads off. Lead back down to 5 inside the 4-minute mark of the first half. A couple substitutions going to come up in the next dead ball for Kitchener-Waterloo. In the meantime, Jamel Harris at 10 on the shot clock. Tramar, Foster, 8 points on the evening. Spins in the paint, awkward looking shot, and he front rims on it. Lewis and Tremik getting back in transition to break up the pass. It will remain Niagara basketball, but a terrific play by Tremik just to break that pass up and slow down the River Lions rhythm in transition.
That's just it. Now allows the Titans to regroup here. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Niagara again just trying to get some answers out of anybody at this point. Did a complete turnaround, complete 180 in the second quarter. That offensive output hasn't been there. 6 total points after 24-point outbursts in the opening frame. That's not going to get it done. And it certainly, needless to say, has allowed KW to come back and now take a 5-point lead. 3:37 to go in this first half, or 3:40 to go in the first half, I should say.
Let's hear some noise, fans!
The Titans back in action on Sunday, and then a bit of a unique game coming up next Wednesday in Windsor, the clash at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor Casino.
That'll be interesting one. I like that promo idea, to be sure.
I believe it is their 4th or 3rd year doing it, something like that, but it's been tremendously popular in the times that they've done it. It's great that the Titans get to participate in their first year in existence.
What do you say? Go play some slots and catch some NBL action? How about it? I say road trip.
It seems like quite the time for sure, and it's drawn pretty good crowds and very interesting. It's almost like a concert hall auditorium type room, and they lay down the floor and all the stands are on one side. And having watched the live stream the past couple of years, it's looked tremendous. So hopefully the Express can generate that same kind of success again next Wednesday at Caesars Windsor.
That's exactly kind of unique activity that the NBL has to keep doing to differentiate itself. As there's a 3-ball right off the hop for Niagara. Good response out of the timeout.
Tyshawn Patterson knocking that one down for hers first points of the evening. All of a sudden a 2-point game. Harris, the push off. And the one-hand floater is an air ball, and then what a steal from Blazik. Can it lead to points? Foster got whacked on the rebound, regardless of fresh 24, and the Titans going to wait this one out.
That's a basket or a shot attempt I think Jamel Harris would love to have back. You're that close, you got to hit the net.
Foster the 2 and knocks it down. Double digits for Kevin Foster. 4 points, KW advantage.
Tied for the league in terms of all scorers with Chris Commons, now with 10 points on the night. Kevin Foster coming out to play for the KW Titans tonight.
Williams going to draw the foul. Looks like it is going to go on Harris. It's number 2 on him.
And Harris visibly frustrated there as he's going to be subbed out. Paul Cooper back in the ball game.
Foster also out.
They're just 60% from the line tonight. Thus far, KW not much better at 50. So both teams again with their struggles from the charity line.
Off the mark.
There's another one that misses the mark.
37-34. Tarrant out to wing. Davis in the corner, struggling 0 for 5 from the floor tonight. Almost got that one to go on what looked like a near foul call. No call, though.
Big fella did well, put his shoulder down, just lost the handle on it.
Williams floater off the mark, and the quick outlet pass to Blazek. They have numbers in transition. Tarrant thought about it. Blazek, open 3-ball. Can't knock it down from the corner.
The entire bench was up challenging that shot for the wide open 3 on Blazek. I guess if the defender's not on him, they still have to contend with the bodies on the bench.
Inside 2 to play in the half. Zeglinski off the screen against Cooper. Big mismatch. Williams straight away and knocks down the 2, and it's back to a 1-point game.
And we're going to have a late foul here as Blazek, kind of a delayed call, but a late kind of reach. Tyshawn Patterson is going to get dinged on that.
Number 1 on Patterson, and away from the play before they even inbounded the ball, so a careless foul, and now River Lions with 1 less to give in the half.
Yeah, really needless penalty or foul call there.
Cooper going to head to the line as that one's going to go on Commons. That's 3 on Chris Commons now, and imagine he'll be heading off. It's just done with a minute and a half to play here in the half.
As he does so, Marty coming back in to replace him.
He's also playing with 2, so a couple big men that they rely on for scoring a lot. Commons having some words with the official.
Yeah, trying to argue that Cooper had his arm hooked around his waist. So Cooper was the one at fault, but the official didn't see it that way.
Cooper good on number 1 coming in tonight. Cooper just a 39% free throw shooter. Trying to put KW up 3, but he front rims. And Amarty there to secure it. Looks like he got whacked.
And already dealing with foul trouble with one big man, they can ill afford to lose another, but Marty looks to be okay.
Lewis going for the behind the back dribble against Blazek. Step back 3 won't go. And Tarrant there for the board. Tremendous half defensively for the Titans. Allowing just a point a minute now. Tarrant, Davis, 3, no good. Offensive rebound, and Blazek looks like he tried to force that pass a bit too much, and in the other end, the no layup defense. And Amarty having some words with Wing. He went right over to him after Wing fouled him, and Amarty is furious.
As Tarrant swooped in as well, Wing was in the vicinity. So the officials getting in quickly to try and simmer the situation down. Well, the entire bench is up too.
Unsporting foul call on the Titans number 15.
So unsporting foul, the call on Adam Wing.
Sub in for the Titans.
And Johnson's going to check back in here for KW as Cooper will head off.
I believe that the big argument was just didn't necessarily go for the ball in that situation, trying not to get put on a poster. Marty can tie the game with these 2 free throws. 67% from the line this season. Knots things up at 38 in what has been a relatively low-scoring first half.
We see some good defense, but again, we've seen some poor shooting as well at times, so it's been a mishmash of everything.
Niagara just 35% from the floor, 111 in three-point land.
And KW 38%, so nothing to sniff at either.
Wing gets fouled in transition by Amarty, and another unsporting foul going to get called on Amarty.
And that'll get a reaction from the crowd here, the pro KW crowd that is.
And I'm sorry, but after something like that in the other end, that, in my opinion, even warrants an ejection. Amarty going to be shown the bench as he should. He should be shown the locker room. The officials are going to talk things over.
Coach Langus comes all the way to half court to meet his team to gather them in.
Things starting to boil over frustration-wise. Wing and Amarty get tangled up 2 plays in a row.
Flagrant foul. Yep.
Assessed to number 0, Richard Amarty, his third, team's 7. Richard Amarty has been ejected from the game.
And he has been ejected. Amarty's gone. And watch out here, folks. Better watch what happens next if he wants to avoid any farther consequences. League will take a look at that.
Frustrating night to his end, or end to his night, I should say, as he heads off to the showers a little early, but completely his doing on that one, just not able to put things behind him. And he'll get the jeers from the crowd here as he heads off.
Tough for him as well, as double-digit effort in the first half, along with 8 rebounds, led the team both scoring and on the glass.
It's unfortunate. You don't like to see that happen to either team. You want to just see some good competition on both sides of things, but just, again, tempers flying a little bit, and one individual not just unable to keep it in check.
And Wing makes him pay, knocking down both of them. And before the Titans get the ball back after the flagrant, head coach Serge Langus wants to talk things over. And we mentioned how the rivalry has been created with teams in southwestern Ontario, teams like London.
How about the QEW rivalry that's building?
KW Niagara, and just their second meeting this season has created some flair.
Fans, just a reminder, the Titans' next home game is February the 5th. That's this coming Sunday.
They don't meet again, it appears, until March 7th, so over a month until the Titans are at the Meridian Center, and then March 12th, KW back at home to take on Niagara.
I'm sure that one will be a chippy one. These players, don't forget, already 25 combined fouls, and we're not even done the first half.
(40-38), low scoring, but no shortage of action in the opening 24 minutes here at the Odd.
And it's 2-for-1 ticket night, well worth the price of admission here this evening, as Titans doing a promo the rest of the way on Tuesday nights.
2-for-1 ticket night, they should call it no excuses night.
Absolutely. What else are you gonna do on a Tuesday night? Watch Sports Center reruns? Come on. That top 10 can wait. You can see a top 10 of your own here live in KW.
So a 10.8 differential game clock, shot clock. Titans don't look like they're gonna go 2-for-1. Terrence, watched by Patterson.
10-second differential shot clock to game clock.
Terrence still watched by Patterson, off the screen. Davis, the 3 in the corner, knocks it down. A.J. Davis, after an 0-for-7 start from the field, knocks down that one. At the half, the big alley-oop finish. Marcus Lewis showing off the hops that he had back in college. Cuts it to a 1-possession game, but the Titans would have been happy just to have been in it at halftime, let alone a 3-point lead.
Absolutely, and he says he saves the dunks only for game time now. No practice dunks. Well, some showtime there to wrap up the first half, but you said it though, Ian. It's almost surprising that the Titans are leading it by 3 after 2 quarters of play, especially how they came out in that opening frame. But full credit to them holding Niagara to only 14 points in that second quarter after 24 points output by the River Lions in the first quarter. KW basically responding much like Niagara did offensively, 24 points of their own in that second frame, and 43-40 is where we find ourselves now.
Since that initial timeout, a 38-20 run for the KW Titans. A 3-point lead at the half. We'll have the final 24 minutes coming up on the other side of halftime. Head coach Serge Langus's birthday did not get off to too hot of a start. It was a dreadful first 6.5 minutes played by the KW Titans, but since then, seems they've found a bit of a groove on both sides of the ball, Dan.
Absolutely, and we even saw an ejection in that first half with when maybe some frustration started to boil over from the Titans as a result of that, and as a result of a foul call on a dunk attempt on one of their players. Marty getting the boot.
Commons, the pass inside. Williams, no foul call, but he gets it to drop and pulls Niagara back within a single point to start the half.
And for fans that might be wondering, had a breakdown for us at halftime. In the NBL, player can receive 2 flagrant or 2 unsporting fouls, but that's at the referee's discretion. They can also hand out a straight flagrant, which is a result of that, which is an automatic ejection from the game. And I think in that instance, most fans here, although they're a bit biased obviously, but from our perspective, certainly would seem that there was basis for that call there.
To happen right after Wing got called for his unsporting foul. And the frustration seems to be boiling all over the River Lions bench.
As we mentioned off the hop, how there's a lot of the chemistry issues going on in the locker room right now, and it was self-professed, really, players coming out and saying as much. A lot of walking on eggshells. They had a closed-door meeting after the latest loss against the London Lightning. And maybe they're just trying to work through all that, and anytime you're trying to win ball games, as you're dealing with locker room issues at the same time, it can create a lot of frustration. And it's certainly been elevated by the challenge that KW's been posing today and the physical game they presented.
Jamel Harris has to check back into the game. Off the mark. So a 43-42 slim KW lead. Davis, what a pretty move on the layup, cutting through the defense, gets it to drop and restores that 3-point Titans advantage.
And you could argue that at times KW was settling for jumpers a little too much. 41 shots in that first half, 39% from the floor. More dribble drives like that to boost this lead. It's currently at 3.
The floater from Williams won't go. He thought he got bumped. No foul called. And it'll be KW basketball as Harris comes into the game for Cooper. And what a surprising and pleasant first half from Kevin Foster, who really hadn't seemed to find this. He didn't seem to have found the scoring touch in his first few appearances with KW, but double digits in that first half.
Yeah, you said it, 10 points to lead the team in the first half. Foster already just averaging under that mark, 8.3 through now in his 4th game with the Titans. The 11 points against Orangeville on Sunday was his best output, so maybe it's just a matter of him getting familiar with the league. 5, 9, 11 is all trending outwards for Kevin Foster.
Meanwhile, the Lions couldn't convert in that transition push. That's their 9th turnover of the evening as Murray couldn't keep it in bounds, trying to walk along the baseline. Tarrant, pass off. Harris, nice move, and the one-hand jam. Jamel Harris. It's a 5-point KW lead.
Harris with authority. Back-to-back buckets for the big man. Good start for him to begin the second half.
Commons off the keep. Backing in on Harris in the post. Commons, the spin and the score.
Yeah, just caught Harris there on the wrong side defensively. And a push on that end.
Looks like it's gonna go on Jamel Harris.
And I don't think there was anything intentional there as he went over to, and now he is gonna get teed up. So again, goes back and forth here, and the official having none of it. They're trying to keep this game in check, and probably good move. Now that's his 4th personal, so again, that's going to hamper the team. He came out to a great start, and now he's going to be riding the pines for a little while.
4 fouls on Harris right after that big jam. The emotions starting to get the best of both teams this evening.
Looked like an innocent enough play there. It didn't look to be anything malicious behind that contact. walked over, and I guess he had a few words walking away from it, and the official, again, just trying to keep control of this ball game, decided best to tee him up.
4 fouls on Harris. And a reminder that Richard Amarty is gone after the ejection at the end of the first half. 2-point game, Commons entry pass, and a turnover forced there by the Titans.
Yeah, Blaza getting up, climbing the ladder, gets a hand in the way. I thought it might have gone off his hand, but it must have deflected off the river line just at the last second.
Wing trying to let the play develop, rolls in with the left hand. A difficult shot, no contact called. Coach Langus wants a call, but instead it'll result in a clean turnover, Niagara basketball.
At times the referees are letting them play. Certainly did in that instance.
Defense, fellas!
Lewis over to Zeglinski.
Stay on him, baby!
As a shot clock expires, unable to knock it down was Commons, and Davis there for the board. Johnson off a nice feed that time from A.J. Davis. He'll pick up the assist, and Cavell Johnson his first points of the evening.
That's a nice dish in the low post right there by A.J. Davis. Finding Johnson over his left shoulder for an open putback.
Murray tried to force that pass inside, and then a shove given from Cavell Johnson to Zeglinski, and another unsporting foul going to be called on Cavell Johnson. And now Davis getting in there. Some words being exchanged between Davis and Commons. The official forced to step in, and tempers beginning to flare again in the second half here at the Odd.
These teams do not like each other, and it's coming to the forefront right here as tempers continue to boil over. Johnson, I think he's going to get the initial foul at a late shove, and the refs are going to get together and hash things out.
This is what happened last time when Richard Amarty got called for an ejection. Well after the play, Johnson gave a shove to Sammy Zeglinski.
Thanks to everyone tuning in live on YouTube here tonight. Dan Palsh along with Ian Jodry, and keep those comments coming. We'll get to them as much as we can. Touching on Hart Niagara's question anyways, why did Amarty get ejected? Joining us a little late. Well, he actually got ejected because he wrapped up and brought down a Titans player going back up the floor after there was a foul by the Titans, a flagrant foul on a, I guess you could call it defense of a slam dunk attempt. A lot of contact.
Yeah,
didn't like how that went down and tried to take matters in his own hands.
Yep, Wing got called for that initial unsporting due to, you mentioned that defense on the dunk, didn't want to get posterized and just tried to get in there. Didn't necessarily get any of the ball, which resulted in that unsporting, and Amarty did not like that one bit. Very next play took exception, and that led to the ejection.
Personal foul on the Titans, number 28, Cavell Johnson, his first, team's fourth.
Johnson, I imagine, going to pick 2 fouls up, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's being unsporting foul against Cavell Johnson.
And then
Unsporting foul assist to number 28, Cavell Johnson, his second, team's fifth.
so there's 2 fouls on the play against Johnson.
Double technical fouls, 1 for each team. Technical foul on number 10, E.J. Davis, his second, team's sixth. Technical foul on Niagara's number 24, Chris Commons, his fourth.
Big news, Commons picks up his 4th with that technical. It was a double T, as A.J. Davis also got charged with one. When it's all said and done, Sammy Zeglinski going to step to the free throw line.
And Zeglinski, the American native, heads to the stripe to try and get his team back within 2. He'll do just that.
Russ Conley going to come back in. Commons checking out. Big news for KW. 2 of Niagara's top players currently out of the game, as Commons playing with 4 fouls and Amarty ejected.
But KW only up by 2 at the same time. They have to take advantage of it right now.
Their biggest lead has been 5. Niagara has led by as many as 15 for the lead, and Tyshawn Patterson makes it 50-49 Niagara.
Patterson up to 6 points, second free ball of the night.
Tarrant tries to split the D, throws it up with one hand, and it looked like he got called for a travel, and indeed he did.
Travel violation, that's a turnover.
Tarrant able to laugh it off. He thought he drew contact on it. A big key for the final quarter and a half of this game is going to be keeping your emotions in check. They have been flying tonight. Several unsporting fouls, technicals, and an ejection. 1 point contest. Conley for three, knocks it down. Back-to-back triples by the River Lions, and they have the 4 point advantage. Davis in transition. Tried to pull up, but gonna go with that pass down low. Johnson in the post, puts it in. Bill Johnson, the nice move on the response, cut that lead down to 2. River Lions after back-to-back threes. Zaglinski, stutter step, right hand move, and the nice finish high off the window and in. Sammy Zaglinski putting on a charge here in the third quarter, 55-51 Niagara.
Conley, the veteran of this Niagara team. Response there by Zaglinski. Bench players are coming up for him.
Blazik, the pump fake, the floater, and 2 free throws coming up for Adam Blazik, also set to check back in for Kitchener-Waterloo. Sutherland and Morrow.
Sub in for the Titans, number 9, Shamar Sutherland.
Going back to Conley for a second. Highly involved, bringing him back, re-signing with the River Lions, really involved with the team off the court as well as a team ambassador. So certainly they were happy to have him back in the fold this campaign.
Blazik, no good on number 1 so far this year. An 84% free throw shooter for the Titans. Tonight, hasn't necessarily found that scoring touch, just 5 points. 10. The loss to Orangeville on Sunday, goes 1 of 2 from the line, and that will allow Morrow and Shamar Sutherland to come back into this one. Zaglinski blows by Morrow, right hand floater, and lays it in, and Morrow just got burned defensively on that play.
And Zaglinski and Conley, the Pennsylvania natives, all of a sudden stepping up for Niagara.
Sarens trying to go isolation, but instead hits Morrow. Morrow tried to leave at that time for Foster. A foul going to be called. No, just goes out of bounds. Still KW basketball. 6:03 to play in the third and 7 on the 24-second shot clock. Johnson off the entry pass, no foul called as Tarrant hit the floor, 2 on the clock. Foster didn't get a shot off. It was stripped away by Bilal Ben into the corner. Patterson triple, won't go, but a foul going to be called that time on Foster away from the ball.
And he contacted or got in contact with Williams there under the basket. And Kirk Williams Jr. still feeling the effects of that brushback. But just put things in perspective, 17 points already in this third quarter alone for Niagara, just 16 in the second quarter in total. Going into halftime, and with 5:50 to go, KW, a bit of shell shock.
Combined 34 fouls this evening between the two teams, and we still have 17 minutes and 50 seconds of basketball to play, but you said it, Dan, a bit shell-shocked. They went on that huge run, 38-20 since their initial timeout in that first quarter. Didn't necessarily bring it out of the locker room, though. Niagara playing down a man, Commons on the bench, but it's that second unit, guys like Zaglinski and Patterson getting it done for them offensively.
Absolutely, like you were saying, with Pennsylvania products, the veteran of the River Lions coming in and stepping up for the, I guess you could say, the dearly departed, especially the big man being ejected earlier on. They're going to miss his presence, but they're going to keep on putting up a defensive effort like they have in this unit anyways, putting up points as well. Bit of a sigh of relief for their head coach, Grass Nicole.
Once again, both these teams trying to avoid dropping their third in a row. Niagara coming off that back-to-back home and home pair of losses against London this past weekend. KW's had 5 days off, and then we'll have a few more off before they're back here on Sunday to take on Moncton. A condensed schedule as well for the River Lions. They're back in action, taking on the Express.
As the Ontario swing begins for the East Coast teams. Love to get down to Moncton one of these days. There's the second road trip. We're already talking Windsor, right? The clash at the Coliseum.
Moncton's making the headlines for all the wrong reasons these days, but certainly still a great area. Also being extremely biased, but 5:50 to go in the third quarter. A 5-point River Lions lead as going 0 for 2 from the line that time, but a chance to get the ball back, and they do. After 2 straight misses from Patterson. Niagara basketball. Here's Ben against Sutherland. It's Patterson up top. Patterson, the triple, in and out. Second try, also no good. Conley, third try, still no good. Loose ball, and Johnson gets 2 hands on it. Ricky Tarrant, drive, the left hand, and the roll. Tarrant's been pretty good since he returned, led the team in scoring Sunday, 9 points so far this evening, and efficient from the field. The reverse layup off the mark, and Johnson put that one into his own basket.
Going back and forth with the help of a pair of Titans, helping their own calls, and then a Dutchman on the other end.
Tarrant against Conley, into the corner for Sutherland. Back to Tarrant, 3-ball, knocks it down. Ricky Tarrant, talk about the return, drops it in from beyond the arc. 2-point game.
They need that to continue here. Ricky Tarrant heating up.
Defense!
Ben against Morrow. Tarrant. The foul actually going to get called on Niagara. That one looks like it went on Kirk Williams Jr.
Yeah, Patterson took a spill there, but it was on the near side. Patterson was a little slow to get up. Looks to be no worse for wear, though, as they're going to let that spot on the court.
That's didn't believe that Kirk Williams Jr. was on the floor, but it's called for the foul.
I know, it's a head scratcher for me too, but either way, KW comes away with the basketball here as Tarrant walks up court.
Tarrant pulls up for 3 again. Can't get that one to drop. A foul on the floor. Indeed, it went on the River Lions.
Another loose ball foul against Niagara. This time is on Foster as he went up looking for that defensive or offensive board. Grabbed his arm and forced the official to blow the whistle. Some good aggressiveness there from Foster. How scoreless so far in the second half.
Sutherland, 3 in the corner, knocks it down. Shamar Sutherland, KW, back up.
Sutherland with his first shot from distance.
Looks like they're actually going to change that to a long 2. My apologies. Ties the game at 59. Conley misses on the reverse. All knotted up. Shamar Sutherland, the behind the back dribble, leaves it for Tarrant. Foster, no look pass. Tarrant in the corner. 15 on the shot clock. Foster in the post, and he'll go to the line for 2 more.
Had the angle there, just worked his way even lower beneath the basket. A little off balance when he let that one go, but fortunately for him, so was the defender. It was enough to garner the foul call. Going back to Shamar Sutherland. Again, not a prodigious scorer off the bench for KW, but not really what they're looking for out of him. It's that defensive effort, game in and game out, and the leadership qualities. As you can see, he's only averaged double or had double digits in 4 of KW's games so far this season. Season high being 17 against the London Lightning, or Orangeville A's rather. 4 points against Orangeville, 7 points over his last 2 games.
Foster off the mark on the second. Cooper there. The offensive rebound. And just like that, KW turned things around in a hurry. 62-59, they lead it. Tyshawn Patterson lost the basketball, gets it back and scores with the pretty move off the window and in. 1-point game. And then low down and a foul going to be called that time.
Offensive foul ball on the Titans.
It's on Ricky Tarrant, well away from the play as Patterson hit the deck. And you can see the Niagara bench got up in a hurry. Tarrant still discussing with the officials as he gets charged with his third of the evening.
Kind of a head scratcher there for Tarrant anyways as he runs off. Meek Sullivan back in the ball game, who's performed pretty well in his time on the floor for KW tonight.
So we're going with Meek, huh?
Let's go with Meek.
The M Sutherland.
I like it. It's got a nice ring to it.
Moore backing in on Foster. The turnaround J was blocked. Foster the rejection. Trying to get out of the press, floats it ahead to Tremar. Morrow open three off the mark, loose ball, and going back to Niagara.
The three Canucks on the floor trying to get it done. The two Sutherlands and Morrow with the three ball attempt. Meek tried to get to it first. A little maybe too much speed going full steam ahead right at the loose ball, tipped it out of bounds.
Williams leaves it for Moore, his long two, rattles in and out. Meek diving for it. Go back to Niagara and a fresh 24 on the shot clock.
And we've got a question on the board. David McMillan asking, is a flagrant one an automatic ejection? Well, they've got the two unsporting fouls which players can gather under their name. But again, if player gets flagrant, a flagrant, and it's all at the referee's discretion as well, we'll get the heave-ho.
So it's not like the NBA with the flagrant one and the flagrant two. It's just a flat flagrant, and then it's
correct. It's
referee's discretion. Ben backing in on Foster, bounce pass. Meek got a hand on it, and Morrow comes away with the loose ball. Tremik leaves it for Morrow. Nice left-hand finish, and Tremik gets the assist. 64-61, KW the lead. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Back and forth, high flying, and filled with emotions here tonight at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium.
Boy, is that ever an understatement.
Ben into the corner, Moore for the tie, won't go. Loose ball, Conley, two hands on it, and it's blocked! Kevin Foster got two hands on it, but instead they still come away with the score as it was Ben getting the 2 points.
As Foster had another block and slapped his hands in frustration as the play continued, and we saw the putback there for Niagara.
Tremik going coast to coast, and a foul called, and it looks like it went on Kirk Williams Jr., who already got charged for a foul when he was on the bench, so you can understand the frustration from his point of view. That's number 2 on him.
Kirk Williams Jr. is second. Team's sixth.
As he's looking for an explanation from the official, but looked pretty clear-cut from this angle. As you see the speed that Meek Sullivan has, reminds me of a bit of like a Muggsy Bogues type, right? Or a Damon Stoudemire just puts his head down and kind of a wind-up toy, just scoots down court. So hard to defend that.
He is down in a hurry. I would love to have a stopwatch and see how long it takes him to get from coast to coast.
I would, just to see how fast he would, not to kind of shame me and how slow I actually am.
Tremik knocks down the second. It's a 3-point Titans advantage as Moore checks in for Niagara. Tremar also out for Kitchener-Waterloo. Marcus Lewis back into the game after that big throwdown in the first half. Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Tight one here from Waterloo region. Patterson, the drive with the right hand baseline, tries to go reverse. Johnson, the block. How about 2 of them? It's a block party here at the auditorium, folks. Blazik in transition. Morrow, the drive with the right hand, slashing, wing, 3-ball, in and out.
This crowd would have been on its feet after that potential 3-ball.
Patterson drops for Ben. Williams in the corner, goes cross court, wide open 3 for Patterson, but can't get it to drop.
How about 2 for 1 on the other end there? 2 swats by the big man Johnson.
What a play.
I guess it is 2 for 1 night here in KW.
That might be your best line this season.
Hey, I don't go forcing that kind of stuff, but when it's fed to me like that, gotta take it.
You think of it in your sleep, or? They leave it for Blazik, the pump fake, the drive, the float, and the miss. And Conley there for the rebound. About a 6-second differential game clock, shot clock in transition. The three off the mark from Patterson. It's now just made a 0.8-second differential game clock, shot clock, so the Titans will hold on. And the last shot of the third quarter, 66-63. Tremeke Sutherland on the floor, controlling the ball here as tries to drop a play, 4 assists, 2 rebounds for him tonight. The 2 points. Tremeke, one-on-one, pulls up for 2, but can't get it to drop. And we will head to the fourth quarter where the Titans have been oh so dominant this year, up 3 points. And this one has the making to be perhaps the game of the year up until this point for KW.
Yes, Niagara had quite the advantage in that third quarter coming out of the locker room, but 23-all for both sides. And that's where we see Titans again with that 3-point lead they entered halftime with, going into now the final frame. And as you alluded to, their best quarter of the season, 344 points for, only 279 against for KW in the fourth quarter of this season. Comparison, Niagara giving up 302 to their 294 gained. And output-wise, it has been their best quarter as well, but again, KW with a slightly better differential, to say the least. We'll see which one comes out best as we see the chicken dance happening again at mid-court. Talk about it almost every home game. Just love it, carrying on this local tradition. Just gets you fired up for the Oktoberfest. We just need that pretzel and Oktoberfest sausage.
Hey, only 8 months away now.
Hey, never too early to start doing the chicken dance for a warm-up.
Of course, the Titans will get the 4-day break after this, back on Sunday with the Moncton Miracles making their trip out west.
Yeah, and as you said, it's been a struggle for them so far this year.
All right, thank you so much.
Sitting last in their division right now with the 3-7 mark.
With the chicken dance. Fans, I'd like to thank Ron Turkowitz.
And they'll be on a back-to-back-to-back. Windsor Friday night, London Saturday night, and then a very short turnaround to play KW Sunday afternoon. You can't imagine they'll be bouncing out of bed that morning, and they'll be thinking that head coach Serge Langos will want to jump all over what should be a pretty fatigued Miracle squad.
3 out of a 5-game road swing for them, as then they'll head back to Eastern Canada, take on Halifax and the St. John the Riptide before welcoming the Island Storm and those same Riptide in back-to-back home games the week after.
Easy, right?
No problem, no sweat, I say, as I sit in my comfortable chair here courtside.
Back-to-back-to-back. That hurts. You go home and take on the defending league champs. Williams, baseline miss, second chance is good.
Gotta appreciate that effort down low. Missed the first couple times, but stayed with it. And eventually rewarded with a basket of his own. There's a putback. Cavell Johnson, what a huge couple minutes he's had, just gobbling up rebounds, swatting away a few shot attempts. Now a big putback of his own.
One of the top shot blockers in the National Basketball League of Canada. Picked up 2 on 1 play earlier tonight. Commons up top, playing with 4 fouls. Commons blocked again by Cavell Johnson.
Came in ranked number 3 in the league to tonight's ball game in blocks. I'm sure he's challenging for the top spot right now. And there's a nice and 1 from A.J. Davis.
Count it, and the foul. Davis hasn't shot particularly well tonight, just 2 for 9 from the field. But now a chance for a 3-point play and potentially put Kitchener-Waterloo up 6, which should be their biggest of the night.
3-point play the old-fashioned way, as they say, is, as you said, Davis kind of quiet so far, but some nice work to split, or at least slash through the lane, misses the free throw, and that's been a struggle for both teams. That's their 8th free throw missed here tonight.
So does anybody want to go one-on-one with Cavell Johnson right now?
He's just salivating as he comes up on the double team.
He's camping in the post. Anybody want to go for a layup? Doesn't matter because Ben knocks down at mid-range too. Back to a 3-point game.
Just as the shot clock expired as well, got his teammates up on the bench in appreciation. Gets the team back within 3.
Davis working around into the corner. Blazek the pump fake, step in, 2, rattles it in. Nice job from Blazek, gets the defender to bite.
His head fakes are superior to anyone's on, at least at the KW Titans, but he shows why right there. Completely sold the defender on it. Got himself some time and some space and able to drop it for 2 as Niagara does the same way at the other end.
Ben off the assist from Zeglinski, keeping it a 3-point game. No room to breathe for either of these teams. Ever since the midway point of that first quarter, trying to poke it loose. Lewis, and he does.
There's some good defense.
Commons in all alone. The one-hand lay-in. 1-point game.
There's that former slam dunk champ showing those hops off. He's not dunking, but he's using them for his defense.
Davis spinning away from trouble, puts it off the window and in. Why go to the ATM? Just go to the bank. 74-71 KW.
Don't tell me you haven't practiced that one before, too. But that was a tough shot. Davis's momentum was carrying him away from the basket. Got that kiss off the window and in.
Zeglinski looking for that pass on the other side. Williams off the pass. Commons gonna go to the free throw line. Davis picks up another foul. That's number 3 on him.
And I think he felt that was almost a foul out of necessity, as that was a great pass right inside to the aforementioned Lewis.
Paul Cooper gonna check back into the game for Tremik Sutherland. Cavell Johnson also heads to the bench as Ricky Terrence back in for the Titans.
Certainly hasn't been a textbook game for either team. Quick turnaround for both of them, having played on Sunday afternoon, so really get one practice, and they might have even had a rest day, in fact, on Monday.
Mentioned the only game tonight in the league for the River Lions. They've got a back-to-back again this weekend.
12 of 23 from the line for the River Lions.
And an offensive foul going to be called that time. It looked like it went on Davis. It did. He picks up 2 fouls in a matter of a couple seconds. And A.J. Davis with 4 fouls now. That's Harrison Davis, 2 of your strong power forwards that are into foul trouble in the 4th quarter. So let's see how Coach Langos wants to manage that. Some full court pressure as they have to heave that one up to Zeglinski at the halfway line.
Did well to get rid of it.
Zeglinski against Blazek, playing some tough defense. Gets that one down low to Conley, leaves it for Ben on the baseline drive, the reverse and the miss, but off the hands of Blazek and out, who was going for that rebound, maybe a little over aggressively in a fresh 24 and new possession for Niagara.
Yeah, Ben's got to finish off that play, going one-on-one with Cooper on the switch. Had the inside angle, had him beat, in fact. Again, just couldn't finish.
Conley, Lewis, open 3, but off the mark. And Davis there for the board. Davis, wing, thought about the 3, drives, and there's a big foul again. That one's going to be called on Russ Conley, number 1 for him.
Don't tell me that Conley didn't have that attempted block by Wing from the first half in mind, too. Both teams are just kind of walking away from each other right now, including Wing and Conley. I don't credit Wing, say, okay, I got you.
Best way to make him pay is step up and make your free throws. Wing this year an 80% free throw shooter.
My thoughts exactly on that one. Get him back where it hurts, right?
Take the easy points, and he hits them both. Kitchener-Waterloo lead back up to 5.
Foster back in the ball game with just 1 point in this second half after a 10-point first half.
Niagara on average this year allows just under 109 points per game. Relatively low scoring here this evening. Zeglinski off the screen. Now trouble with the double team. Bounce pass into the hands of Lewis, the floater, the miss, the loose ball, and AJ Davis, the first one to it, the behind the back dribble, almost lost it. Center court, runs into some trouble, but somehow comes away with it. Davis going to reset the offense again, try and slow things down and get a quality look here for the Titans with 10 on the shot clock. Zaglinski on him, gets a screen. Don't know who that pass is intended for, but regardless, Davis had to get a shot off as it never changed possession or hit the rim. Put it up too late, and it'll be a turnover with Niagara coming back.
Just couldn't get rid of it before that buzzer sounded. As both teams, it's kind of, I don't know what you would call there in that instance. Some good defense there, perimeter defense anyways, from the Niagara River Lions.
Zaglinski the miss, and then the long rebound gets it right back. So a fresh shot clock. Zaglinski against Tramar Sutherland. Zaglinski the behind the back pass. Conley on the keep, backing in on Foster. Commons for three, off the mark. Lewis, another rebound, third attempt, and a foul going to be called.
They're waving it off.
Travel. He walked. So Lewis walked on the third chance for Niagara, and with 7 minutes to play, it means KW basketball.
A timely turnover, to say the least, for KW to benefit from. KW with 23 of their own, just their 13th now for Niagara.
Foster for three. Still can't find the groove. 0 for 8 from beyond the arc this season. Tyler Murray, right-hand dribble pass. Conley open from the free throw line, but can't get it to go. Long rebound finds Tramar Sutherland. KW with numbers. Sutherland the keep and lost it. A lot of contact, no fouls. Lewis to Commons and a lay-in. Back to a three-point game.
I think it was Foster that coughed it up there and allowed Niagara to go the other way. And now we've got ourselves a three-point ball game again.
76-73, and the intensity of this game has not dropped since that first time out that Coach Langus called. His team came out flat, down 20-5 early on, and reeled off 38 straight points compared to Niagara's 20 to finish off the half. The River Lions have matched that intensity ever since they came out of the locker room.
Both teams looking for win number 5 on this NBL season. KW looking to jump to third place with the victory here tonight in front of their home fans here at the Kitchen Rod. For those tuning in at home, it's been a good one like we've been alluding to, Ian. A lot of fights in this, that's for sure. And a lot of fight in both teams, to say the least.
A lot of extracurriculars, but there's also been some tremendous plays on both sides of the ball. Johnson getting it done with the blocks.
Not a ton of offense, though, as Chris Commons leading all scorers with just 16 points. 3 Titans in double digits, 4 in total for Niagara. So the scores have been spread around.
You would never hear a coach say quality over quantity when it comes to offense in basketball, but that almost seems to be the case if you're a fan who likes watching it, and that's especially what you come to think with Marcus Lewis on that big alley-oop to end the first half, then Cavell Johnson, a big put-back dunk earlier on. It's been pretty emphatic tonight as far as the offense goes. (76-73) after the timeout. Tarrant, Morrow, Foster, Sutherland, Paul Cooper on the floor. Working into the corner. Sutherland, 3-ball off the mark, drawn up perfectly and into the hands of Greg Morrow, and a new shot clock for the Titans.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. Foss right up back at it, battling for the board, tipped it away and retained possession for KW.
6 minutes to play in this one. Tarrant hesitates. Looking for that pass down low to Foster. It will remain 10 on the shot clock and still Titans basketball.
Yeah, Tarrant trying to find him down low as he went to post up, but tipped out of bounds at the last second by the Niagara defender.
Tarrant the 3, no good. Tarrant thought he got grabbed going for the loose ball as it went out of bounds, but to no prevail. Sutherland, the steal, loose ball on the floor, and they were going to call a held ball. It'll stay River Lions basketball, though. They'll be inbounding on their own end, 76-73, and just under 6 to play in this one. Intensity has been there for almost every loose ball, it seemed, in this one. Tyler Murray checking back in.
With the way the scoreline's been all game, every possession has been crucial. You figure one good run, that's probably going to do it in this ball game.
Limited offense in this one. Here's Zaglinski. Watched by Tremar Sutherland. He passed into the corner for Commons. Up against Cooper. Commons looking for the crossover. Trying to turn around with the hook shot, but can't get it to drop. Second try, and what an athletic play from Marcus Lewis to tip that one up in a 1-point game.
Marcus Lewis.
Tarrant slashing against the D, and an offensive foul going to be called.
Pulled up and then put a shoulder into the defender. Exactly what the official is signaling. Tarrant's having himself a chuckle, but pretty obvious from this vantage point.
4 of the top players divided between both sides, playing with 4 fouls. Harris, Tarrant, Davis, and Commons all with 4, and then in transition, it's Tyshawn Patterson giving Niagara their first lead of the 4th quarter. KW seemed to have a slight unravel ever since that timeout. Morrow in the corner, Sutherland open 3 but can't connect. Foster there for the board, but it popped out of his hands, and Zaglinski comes away with it.
Just couldn't squeeze that. It would have been a great athletic rebound, and there's Tremar tipping it out of bounds, partially blocked as I think it was Williams Jr. looking for the pass, to make the pass inside.
It's a chance for Paul Cooper to check out. Cavell Johnson had a tremendous game so far tonight. He comes back in.
I should take a moment to thank everyone tuning in again live on YouTube. We do apologize for the less than ideal vantage points. Fortunately, experiencing some technical difficulties this time around. Unfortunate on the timing, but hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast the other way.
Williams on the miss from 3-point land. Tarrant trying to do something himself, slashing against the D into the corner for Sutherland. Back up top, Blazek, Johnson in the corner, 5 on the shot clock. Foster, hook shot, won't go. Johnson was there for the rebound, and then it goes out of bounds, and Niagara basketball once again.
Frustration starting to mount for KW. Foster, nice power dribble and hook shot, missed the mark, and then Cavell Johnson couldn't help out his teammate. Add insult to injury, turnover the other way.
Zaglinski wants a screen rolling out to his left, kick up top. Long 2 from Williams, long rebound off the mark. As Johnson was there for it, and now have to slow things down. 3:45 to go. Tarrant, step around, lay it in. Pretty finish.
Down. We're talking Ricky Tarrant here. There's no slowing down.
14 points for him on the pretty looking go-ahead basket. Took advantage of some sloppy transition defense. Kitchener-Waterloo up 1. Pass to Williams, pretty lay-in on a heck of an assist from Sammy Zaglinski.
Absolutely, pretty looking dime there.
Tarrant hits Blazek, floats that one inside to Johnson. One-on-one with Commons. Johnson spins away from trouble with the one-hand shot, but can't get the friendly roll. 3 minutes to go. River Lions lead it. Lewis, the pump fake, the bounce pass. Commons trying to assert himself in the post. How about another one? Cavell Johnson. Someone called a SWAT team on this guy.
I'm gonna remember that one.
5 on the shot clock. Lewis trying to make him pay. The step back and the make.
Certainly made him pay right there, as this float away jumper is good. Now Niagara boosting their lead now to 4.
The foul on the other end, that'll slow things down. Wing gonna check back in.
Check that lead increasing to 3 if I could do my addition properly, but nice little streak here by KW. And Johnson, to his credit, got back defensively, made his impact felt, but as KW tries the outside-inside game, a little more slow developing, if I can spit it out, than Johnson would have liked to. His power dribbles allowed the double team to collapse in on him, and then that's why that hook shot was challenged, as he just tried to gather things in and put the shot up. Wasn't as good as he would have liked in the end, and allowed Niagara to go the other way.
81-78, it's the River Lions on top in what has been a heck of a game tonight from the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Both teams have had their rough patches. We mentioned Niagara, just 16 points in that second quarter, but in this fourth, Kitchener-Waterloo has hit a bit of a speed bump, just 12 points of their own here. 2:37 to go. The game, of course, within reach. But look at the volume of shots. The River Lions 33 from 90 from the floor. Meanwhile, KW 30 for 69. And talking with Coach Langus, he said one of the underrated factors that many people don't realize is, although they're giving up lots of looks and shots from the field, lots of them are low percentage looks, and it's led to what he calculates as under a point per possession, which is a tremendously underrated factor and something he's been very pleased with from his squad.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you have the basketball and you can put up points on every trip, on average anyways, certainly bodes well. Unfortunately for them, they've been giving up a ton of points too, so as we've been talking on and off throughout the broadcast, a lot of the positives that they're accomplishing, they're essentially just all for naught in terms of the 7 losses anyways on the campaign thus far. Suffice to say, they could be clocked closer to 500, if not over 500 at this point.
AJ Davis going to come back in. Sutherland hit number 1 coming in tonight, a 47% free throw shooter, but take them both there. 1 point game, 2:37 to go. Jamar Sutherland will now check out. Blazek wing, Tarrant, Johnson, and Davis on the court for Kitchener-Waterloo. 2.5 to play in the fourth. Spinning through the defense and getting it to drop. Marcus Lewis has started to find a groove here.
You've held him up to 6 points only this game. The team's leading scorer. You don't want him just getting warm up here in crunch time.
Wing. They work it around. Tarrant steps into one, knocks down the triple. Ricky Tarrant. Tie game, 83-83. Clutch shot, and just his second game back, 17.
And 7 of 10 from the floor. Ricky Tarrant putting his team on his back right now, tying the ball game up.
Lewis pass across. Zeglinski rims out. Davis the rebound.
That's the stop they needed right there.
Tied at 83. Tarrant slashing off the window. And it's the Titans out on front, 85-83.
Come out with a bit of a passive press. There's a $1:25 to go. One more stop would be great here.
Marcus Lewis against Tarrant. Lost the basketball. They'll stay with it, though. Under 10 to shoot.
How's this for a matchup?
Lewis, Williams for the lead. No good. And the ball hit the shot clock, so a fresh possession for Kitchener-Waterloo.
Don't think that's the shot they wanted with that contested 3 ball. Now with a minute 10, Niagara needs to stop on their own defensively, finding themselves all of a sudden down by 2.
On a high possession look here. On the bottom left of your screen, it's Blazek controlling. He's watched by Sammy Zeglinski. Blazek runs into some trouble, but dishes off to Johnson. 4 on the shot clock into the corner. Davis, 3 ball, no good. And looking like...
How do you like the point guard getting the offensive board on that one?
Looking like David Tyree pinning that one to the back of his head as he goes up to hold on to it. A fresh 24, and now a chance for the Titans to tack on some insurance.
That's why he's quickly becoming a fan favorite with effort like that.
Blazek trying to spin away from trouble. 5 on the shot clock. Step back shot, no good. Johnson the offensive rebound and the score. Cavell Johnson doing it all night long on the boards, on the blocks. The offensive putback. It's a 4-point KW lead, and Niagara forced to call a timeout.
And a bit of a run here by the Titans to try and close out this ball game. We got a 3-ball to tie it up. Taryn again giving KW the lead. And there, a good possession, some patience. Blazek with the shot, and Johnson cleaning up the loose ball.
Blazek struggles a bit tonight, just 3 for 10 from the floor, only 8 points, but he'll finish the night with 5+ rebounds, but none bigger than that 5th one.
And credit Meek Sutherland for coming in and spotting him some good minutes as well. Only 2 points on the night, but his energy and hustle defensively have been key factors in a game that's been pretty low scoring for the most part.
So you're in the Niagara huddle right now, down 4. What kind of shot are you looking for? Do you want the quick two, or are you drawing yourself back within 1?
I'm drawing it right for the basket as quickly as possible at the very least. Try and draw that foul, but I see that and kind of wonder whether that's going to help them at all, because they're only 52% from the charity stripe. So, just kind of improve your odds as much as you can. It's only a 4-point ball game, 2-possession ball game, but you've got plenty of time with 21 seconds left.
We talk about the combined 45 fouls between the two teams, but this quarter it's been exact opposite. KW, plenty of fouls to give here. If it appears that the River Lions have a chance at a clear lane of the hoop, definitely want to play some no layup defense. 21 seconds, shot clock off. Commons against Blazek. Commons, the right-hand drive, the spin, the block, and how about another one? Cavell Johnson, have yourself a day. Sutherland got swiped at by Ben.
You sure he doesn't have a broom at the top of his hand, just sweeping those balls away? Cavell Johnson, unbelievable performance defensively here tonight. Unfortunately for us, we don't have the live count on blocks. Well, that's going to be at least 5 for him this evening.
At least, absolutely. And it should catapult him right up near the top.
Not to mention the 8 rebounds. Closing in on a double-double tonight. I don't think he'll get it, but either way, great performance.
They get it into Adam Blazek. He's a team's leading free throw shooter, but bad news for Niagara, all those fouls to give. 7.7 seconds to go. They'll have a chance to run out the clock some more. Wing, and now they won't foul. The KW Titans, and arguably the game of the year, the frustrations boiled over in the second quarter. It translated, and Niagara, in their first trip ever to Waterloo region, come up short, and KW claims 3rd place in the Central Division, and that has to be a huge lift for Coach Langus and his team.
Not to mention a nice birthday gift for him too, as he's able to enjoy this one a bit more with a victory, the 5th one of the season for the KW Titans. And they'll head into their matinee matchup on Sunday afternoon, looking to maybe get a little bit closer even to 500.
They put up 87 points against the 2nd worst defense in the league, but you still come away with the win and played a solid defensive game on your end, and it seems like that was almost just kind of the tempo. But is there any concern in the lack of scoring from this team tonight?
Not sure about the lack of scoring. They were going to be dog tired coming off a quick turnaround, having played on Sunday afternoon in Orangeville on the road. It's more so the defensive effort right from the get-go, and that's been preached from everyone on the coaching staff, including Serge Langus, on a regular basis. They can't be giving up those big deficits at the start of ball games and having to claw their way back. Obviously, it worked out well for them tonight, but in the same instance, that comes back to haunt you oftentimes later on in the season, where you might look back and say, okay, well, we ended up making it close, but these are ball games we could have potentially won had we started the ball game off a little bit better.
And we said it several times, the Titans, certainly we would imagine they'd be above 500 if they had those kind of starts. Throughout this season consistently. They move to 5-7, above 500, take sole possession of 3rd in the Central. We'll be back on Sunday, 2 p.m. against the Moncton Miracles. For Dan Polishuk, I'm Ian Jodrey, and good night from the Odd.